and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Clark?
Here.
Fredericks?
Here.
Height?
Here.
Lindman?
Here.
Loretto? Nedrow?
Yes.
Snyder?
Yes.
Thorne? Weber?
Here.
A motion that we excuse Mr. Thorne since he notified us that he was not going to be able to make it last minute.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Nedrow, second by Lindman. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. That brings us to approval of the minutes of February 24th, 2022.
We got agenda first.
Oops, I'm sorry. Approval of the agenda, item 4.
I move we approve the agenda as submitted.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make motion or make notice that we want to item under new business budget request discussion, the new business item A.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, to add that to the agenda?
Yep.
Yes, under new business, where it says none, we're going to add the budget sheet as item A. So 9A, thank you, Brian. And we need is that a motion with?
I just wanted to bring that to.
Motion
Well,
to
motion to approve
is
with the
amended.
addition of the
Yep.
new business item.
Okay, motion by Nedrow, second by
That'd be
Lindman.
motion by Lindman, second by.
Okay, motion by Lindman, second by
Second.
Fredericks. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, now we're up to approval of the minutes from February 24th, 2022.
Yeah, they look fine to me.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. That's good.
So then I'll have to sign,
Probably, yeah. A motion that we
since
approve.
I chaired the meeting that
Yeah.
time,
A motion that we approve the minutes from February 24th.
Okay, motion by Nedrow, second?
Second.
Second by Clark.
Like a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So that sheet was part of the minutes from last month, which I don't think I printed off. So if anybody has a hard copy of that.
What's that?
Doesn't Brian have to sign that and we'll turn that in?
It'll be in the, It'll be
in the book? Okay.
not until it's approved. It had to be approved.
Right.
So it'll be in there next month.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that brings us to the public hearing, the master plan update final draft. So I'll hear a motion to open to the public.
I move we open to the public.
Okay, we got a motion by Clark. second-
Snyder.
Snyder, I'm sorry, Paul. Motion by Snyder, second by Nedrow, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, if anybody in the public has something they'd like to just say about the master plan?
Home watching you guys.
Exactly.
Call in.
I guess there is nobody in the public.
Seeing none, a motion to close to the public.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Nedrow, second by Lindman, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
So public hearing is now closed.
All righty, brings us to item 7, correspondence. We have no correspondence. We do
Are we
have,
supposed to make a motion about that master plan, or is that later?
That's later.
it's coming up
Okay.
under pending.
Shut me up.
We do have some public, do we need a motion?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
I'll motion that we open to the public.
Okay, motion by Nedrow, second
Second.
by Clark. Sorry, got you beat there.
Yeah,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, if you have something to say, please stand up and state your
David
name and
Leyburn,
address.
2335 Shaken
Thank you.
Drive. I'd like to ask you folks, is there acreage lots on this village? We have subdivision lots, but we have acreage lots.
I
I
guess.
don't know, I'd have to look.
Who is this?
That's Sally. That's Sally.
That's our
Sally.
planning consultant.
Yes.
If anybody would know.
I guess if it's an acreage lot, it would fall under
Okay.
residential A, right? That's the largest residential district we have.
Well, I think what he's talking about is land that has not been subdivided via the Subdivision Control Act. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, there's 7 lots in the village that are considered acreage lots, and I'm in one of them, okay? Usually they're larger parcels, over half an acre plus, and they have a little bit unique pieces of property where the drives goes all over the place and so forth. And the reason being is, I did extensive landscaping in my house, and I was treated just like a subdivision lot, where the driveways are 30 to 50 feet long, normally in a subdivision. But in our case, we got 200, 250 feet driveways, okay? So it's pretty hard to see the house from the street. But let me show you a couple of things first, and then I can cover. This is the, and if you just pass it around, I like to have it back. The landscaping that I did on my property.
I assume I'm looking at improvements that I don't know what the property looked like before you did landscaping.
100% better.
You're right on the point.
100% better.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So what is,
What are we looking for?
maybe I missed it, what's the question?
I'll cover it.
Okay.
Okay?
No, it's what, west.
Something right down here.
It's this way.
Oh,
He's up.
I got you.
Penny Lake's over this way. This is looking west.
Oh, okay.
You're all set with the pictures? Okay. The next package I'll be giving you is my neighbor next door is putting sewers, yeah. But I wanted to show you how the lot is. Where you see the X right up here is where the mailboxes are, and I have a picture to show you from the mailboxes how you see my house. If you go past that, you're off Schenken. You're going to a private drive. In order to see our numbers here, you have to get into this private drive. What I'm getting at is, in order to see the numbers to the house, you have to come in a private drive, because there's bushes, not my bushes, but my neighbor's bushes, because of the lot. It's coming all the way down to the side of the driveway. Now, I put 3 pictures here. These pictures here. Okay? Now, if you're going down Shaken, can you see this on Shaken, this address? Do you have a picture?
No.
Can you see it?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
Yes.
On the mailbox.
Not sure what we're looking at, though.
Right here.
No, I mean, I know, but I don't know.
Yeah, you see the numbers
Where
on
Schenken
this
is.
picture.
Oh, Shaken is right here.
This is Schenken back here?
Here's the map right here. My mailbox is right there.
Okay.
You gotta
So
come in.
Schenken stops at the mailbox.
It stops at the mailbox, is Shaken. Then you gotta make a 90-degree angle, a 45-degree angle to go to my house. The problem here is if you stay on the Shaken, you can't see my house because all along here are trees and shrubs from this house, okay? And also there's a big tree here that is in the driveway there. Okay, so, now, do you see this picture right here?
Yeah,
Do you see any numbers anywhere?
no.
And the point I'm getting at is, when I went to ZBA to get approval, one of the things they criticized me is because they can't see my numbers on my house.
Approval for what?
You went to
For what?
ZBA for approval of,
Because they couldn't, I had trees planted that are more than 30 inches long,
Okay.
or taller than 30 inches. Okay?
Okay.
It's an acreage lot. A lot is unique. It's not where you only have 30 or 50-foot driveway where you put trees and you can't see on the road. Okay?
I'm sorry, I must have missed, what's the problem? What's the question or the
The problem I'm
complaint?
saying is the acreage lot required to go with different rules than a subdivision lot.
What
That's all
rule
we
are
can
we,
address. Pardon me?
what rule are you,
I think he's worried about, let me see if I
The
can
30 inch.
paraphrase this, that he is getting pinged for having trees that are too big, that are blocking the sight line to his mailbox.
No.
Or that's what they're saying.
They're saying.
They're saying, right, that they're that one of the problems is it blocks the sight line to his mailbox, but his mailbox is nowhere
No, it
near the
doesn't
road.
block
No,
the mailbox.
it's to the house.
To the house.
It's not a house.
So,
Oh, okay.
I remember this when it came to the zoning
Okay,
case,
it goes
as a case.
90
Okay.
degree angle to go into our private drive.
Right.
And another 45 inch. Now, in order to see my next door neighbor's house, where's the,
But just to
But-
clarify, so the issue was that the way that the trees were planted and the height of the trees created more of like a fence, a hedge, that the first response people felt was obstructing the view so they couldn't see beyond it. And that was why you were asked to, you didn't receive the variance for that, you were asked to take the bushes down,
okay.
right?
so police
I'm saying-
police and fire need to
Police and
see
fire need
a,
And there's
need
a-
to see house numbers,
A
right?
zoning,
So I wasn't the only one who didn't get that.
A zoning
No.
a code or planning code
I have it,
that-
obviously.
I didn't know what we were
Okay.
talking about.
prohibits the use of plants as a hedge
As a landscape
above-
fence.
A landscape fence, I'm sorry.
But if you go on 20, on the private drive, you can see my house without any problem. As a matter of fact, to see 2323, my next door neighbor, the only way you can see his house with the numbers is to going on the private drive. That's why my neighbor put that kind of mailbox to identify the house, the two houses there in that private drive. All I'm saying is, I think we ought to look at the acreage lots a little bit different than a subdivision lot where it has 30, 50, 70, 100-foot lots and square lots type of deal. Because this is it's almost 6/10 of an acre back there. And it's like a boomerang. So regardless, as a matter of fact, my house has 3 fronts and 1 side. A normal house has 2 sides, a front and a back. Very simple. But it was really tough building a house there because I had waterfront in one of the side of the house, so I had to stay 35 feet. The back of the house was lakefront, had to stay back 35. The front, I had to stay, I think it was 25 at that time. And the only side yard that I had to go to ZBA to get a variance because they were putting the house 5 feet away from my next door neighbor. I would have blocked his whole view.
What are you asking the planning commission to do?
I'd like the commission to look at the acreage lots, of those 7 lots on shape, because they are identified as acreage lots. Now, if you go to any other community, like Milford, where they have gentlemen's farms, 5 acres and so forth, they have different rules than the ones downtown, around downtown.
Which specific rules do you want to be looked at differently? Because
Well,
there's, of all the ordinances, I don't know how many there are, but I know the book is really thick.
I think the majority of it is the landscaping. You can see from that landscaping, that property looks pretty darn good.
But if
It doesn't bother anybody.
No,
It's in
but
the middle of the yard.
I understand what you're talking on, the house numbers, but when you say you want landscaping to be viewed differently, do you want to be able to have your neighbor put a hedge up so you can't see the water? I mean,
No,
it's
no.
so, but what I'm getting at, you're asking for a really broad differentiation, rather than saying, I just want you to look at this one specific thing.
Well, one of the ideas that I had is maybe the planning board and the ZBA should have a meeting to cover some of these issues. So they can understand.
Just the house number issue?
Well, the acreage, because that gives you more flexibility to do something with your property. But if I had a 50-foot lot by a 100-foot lot, I can't do too much with it. But if I have an acre and a half, I can do some things with it.
Well, that's what we're asking.
Yeah.
What things?
Yeah.
What do you want
Probably
us
the
to look
biggest
at?
one
What
is
specific
landscape.
items?
The biggest one is landscape.
But you
What
can't
did
say,
you want
but
to do with
landscaping is a
landscaping?
broad,
Yeah.
What did you want to do
Do
with
you wanna-
landscaping? There's already regulations about the height for landscaping. What's wrong with the regulations that are currently in place that you don't agree with?
Because it doesn't give you privacy.
You're not
Take a
supposed to
little
have
tour.
tall hedges on each side of your property because it blocks the view
All
of the
the way around.
lake and things like that. That's been worked out. Yeah.
Okay,
Could I get a clarification? Which
Sure.
number is your house?
2335.
Okay, thank you.
So you gotta get a 45-degree angle to go in there. It goes back there.
Yeah, I understand, I
All I'm saying,
understand.
folks, is you might want to check the communities. Go to Lower Straight Lake, Middle Straight Lake, and so forth. Anybody that has an acreage, they usually have a driveway, and they have bushes or trees, and the reason they want is privacy. I had small kids. I didn't want the people from Shaken Drive coming down there and seeing my kids play in the yard. But if I had planted some plants, which I did before I did landscaping, I had evergreens there. And I felt secure that the kids and grandkids could play in that part of the yard without being approached by anybody. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
And best thing to do is check some of the communities,
Sure.
you know, because sometimes we just look at our community and we can improve it. I've been to 47 states, and I've seen a lot of communities, and some have very beautiful landscaping, very unique entrances and so forth. And we're limiting that to our residents.
Well, if I might, with the specific example you just gave with privacy for children playing in a yard, that would differentiate acreage for that privilege and deny it to the rest of the community, correct?
If they want it, that's fine.
Well,
Except
they can't, because we've got rules that would prohibit them.
You can't do that with a 50-foot lot or a 100-foot lot by a 100-foot lot.
Okay?
I took a tour of the village. You know how many violations we have of the height of plants, like I have? Are you ready?
Sure.
240. I took a picture of every one of them.
Yeah.
So by you telling me the height has to maintain to improve our village, it's not. People are not abiding by that rule. And some of the new homes that have been built, all you want, look at the house that is going on Oak Island, right before the bridge. Why did the guy put 6-foot tall evergreens like a wall? Because he doesn't want to see the car next to him. And that's what they're doing. But nobody stopped them. Okay?
Well, I don't know the example you're talking about, but I can tell you this.
You're welcome.
Just because, well, I'm just going to say, just because somebody else is breaking the law doesn't mean you get to break the law. And I'm not saying you're breaking the law. I'm just using that as an example of whataboutism that seems to happen a lot in today's society. But you can't just say, well, this guy did it, so I can do it.
No.
You can complain about that guy too. And the thing is he might be on the side lot, I don't know, because there's a difference in side and front, and then we also have to go with recommendations from the fire department. If the fire department says that is a fire hazard, then we have to go with that. But I understand what you're asking for.
Tell me where the
and we'll
numbers are for
discuss.
this.
That's not for us to say.
Okay?
Yeah,
There's
it's-
no identification whatsoever.
And I think we're
And that's a councilman right there.
Well, I agree that there's problems that need to be addressed in the neighborhood, but I don't think that because of that, that means other people get away with it. And if you think that you're being harassed and someone else isn't, I don't know what to say about that. It might be true, it might not be true, but,
All I'm saying is you're more than welcome to come and tour my house.
well, I've seen it from the and I've come over here. I'm trying to figure out how that's an acreage lot, because I don't even understand that yet. Because it really doesn't seem that huge from this picture, but I'm looking at the 80-foot scale down here and going, well, maybe that is big. And I'm trying to figure out, well, this lot looks bigger.
Which one?
2301.
Yeah, he's about an acre and a half.
Scott, this is for us to decide.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so, thank you for bringing it to our attention, and we'll give it some consideration.
Yeah.
Hear a motion to close the call to public?
So moved.
Motion by Snyder, second?
Second.
Second by Fredericks. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that brings us to new business, item A, the budget review. Everyone should have a sheet on that. I believe it shows the last year, yeah, it does, the last year's and what the changes are for this year. And do we need to, it's not table, it's a new item, so we don't need a motion, but Brian, you're pretty good at
Well,
this.
I kind of went through it. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you like to take the lead on that?
Well, based upon what we've used and where we're at on the last couple of years and where we're moving forward, where we're at budget year this year, so I kind of went through, and we have to allow the chairperson's salary, so that I'm suggesting we keep it $60
Agreed.
for new budget year. FICA, I don't think I've ever seen that as a line item before, but it's on there now. So
It's only showing the activity, it doesn't show any budget.
well, no, because we have to arrive at that. That's what we're talking about, Scott.
Yep.
So we're going to
Oh,
be
so
putting.
it's new, I get it.
Yeah. So every year we get this budget request form from Mike Conduct, our village treasurer, for boards and commissions to go. Every board and commission gets one of these forms, and they go through and adopt what they feel they want to request for council to budget for the next fiscal budget year, which is starting July 1. So this is just our form, and I thought we'd have a little discussion on it so that as a board, we can request that to council. Council's going to be meeting in, I think, April, May, for our budget session, and then we'll be approving it in June. So
Go right ahead, Brian, yeah.
So moving on, I guess, with that, we've got $23 for, yep, go ahead, Paul.
I was just going to ask, is there any discretionary funding in this, or is it all, the reason I'm asking is that we put the water, I understand there was an RFP for a map,
Right.
so,
That was for the water board as a interactive map on the website.
exactly.
Yep,
Well, there'd been talk before about other
Right.
boards
Yep.
wanting to take part in that.
sure.
Okay, so there is some discretionary, if we wanted to chip in $100.
There could be, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
all
it
right.
could- I guess.
I don't see any.
I hadn't brought it up here, so.
Okay, good point. All right.
So let's go, moving forward, I guess. So
Yeah.
FICA, if we have $23 in there so far, I just upped it to 30 for the balance of the rest of the year.
Is FICA
Yeah.
based on the chairman's
It's got to be
$60?
based on the chairman's, yeah, I would think so.
There's no way that percentage could be that high for FICA. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a
Well,
third, it's a 30%.
It's pretty incidental anyways, and like I said, I've never seen it on here before anyway, so.
So we're saying, so the 60 is fixed.
Yeah, 60.
FICA, if you made it 30, just.
I'd say 30 just for a crapshoot. Supplies, we usually budget around $100. There hasn't been anything this year, but, I mean,
Yeah.
mailing out stuff, I mean, whatever, stationery or whatever. Consultants fees, okay? So last year, we only had $4,000 into it. We used $38.25. We've used $28.95 so far, but we've only had like 6 meetings up to this date. We postponed, or actually, we canceled November and December, otherwise we've got, we're gonna have a total of 10 meetings this year total. So we're gonna burn up around $4,800 with Sally's fees and our regular monthly fees for consultants. So if we looking forward for next year, I'm saying we need to budget like $6,000 for,
Yeah. that
Sally,
makes sense.
I know things have went up a little bit, right?
But is she getting $15 an hour now?
Yeah, she's up to 20.
1548.
Cost of living.
So what's the difference between consultant and special consultant?
I'll tell you that in a second.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our standard consultant fee that Carlisle Wortman charges for Sally to come to every meeting that we have, and a monthly charge for going through normal planning commission stuff, so I think probably somewhere around $6,000 is gonna be close.
Yeah.
And we're probably gonna miss a meeting or two possibly, so, but I would think that would be close to a budget figure. Meeting minutes, we've only used like 300 so far this year. What do you think, Tab? Bump it up to 6?
It depends on how many meetings you have.
Yeah, so maybe, I had 500 in there, but.
I would have left it 500. When was the last time we went over 500?
Depends how many meetings we have.
So what's the cost per meeting?
We were
Is it a cost per
428
meeting or
last
is it
year,
hourly?
so I'd.
So it's at $50 a meeting?
It's 75.
75 a meeting, and we're gonna have 10 meetings?
Let's say worst case 12, right?
No, we never have
I know, Scott, but you have to.
You're talking about Thanksgiving.
If you had 10, it's 750.
Easier to have the money there than it is to try and get it to run
Right.
dry. So if it's not
750.
used, it's not a problem.
75 times 12 would be $900, so.
Yeah.
We're probably short on 500 then. Go 750?
Yeah, 750 sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, if we go over budget, we budget a little bit, but there's some trading that can go off to. Special consultant fees. So that would be something like, we have I'm trying to remember what we had special consultant for.
Is that like master plan? Is it?
How about your rec plan?
Yeah, Parks and Rec plan. We ended up having, well, that was, actually came out of the Parks and Rec budget, but we ended up having a special consultant for, I'm trying to remember what the heck it was. Doesn't come up a whole lot, but if we've got a special planning issue that Sally's got to spend a lot of time on or something like that, that would be over and above our regular, let's say like the master plan that we've been working on. That kind of fell under a special consultant from last year's. So,
Or if you want to do an ordinance amendment?
yeah, ordinance amendments, anything like that.
So you're thinking the 5,000?
I think 2. I was thinking 2. We amended last year. I mean, last year we spent $1,435 so far this year on master plan, and Sally's got pretty much most of that done, right?
Yeah.
So there's not really, there shouldn't be a whole lot more on that this year to do, but I think 2,000 would probably be satisfactory.
Agreed.
Okay.
Postage, leave that around $200.
All right.
Printing and publication, same. We spent 124, but most of that's been through
But I
master.
think we had to publicize tonight's public hearing. and
Right.
things do come up.
Every time we have public hearings or whatever, so I left that at 200. I think that'd probably be adequate. And then conference and dues, we spent $675 so far. That's
Did you
gonna
mean
probably
leave
come up
printing and
again.
publication at 500?
Yeah.
What's that?
You said 200, but it was 500.
Yeah, but we only spent 124. And I don't think
So you want to take it down to 200?
I was gonna say 200.
Okay. You just said leave it, so I was confused.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I mean, if we want to throw 500 at it, that's fine, it's a couple $100.
All right.
It's up to you guys.
What do you think, Tabitha? Is there?
Again, it all depends on if there's public hearings necessary.
Depends on the year. Yeah.
We gotta do a lot of more printing for the master plan when we send it around, or has that already been done?
Already done it. Yeah, we've already sent everything out and everything, so.
We did it all via email anyway.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've had to print hard copies for the office and such, but it's minimal, very minimal.
And the only other thing you have, when you send out stuff for like a site plan review, you know, if a site plan changes, you have to send to 300 feet around the perimeter of that parcel, but there's not too many of those that come up either, so anyways.
Do we have to pay for things like the Zoom meeting, facilitation, that kind of thing? Is that-
Pay for the videographer
Yeah.
here for every meeting.
What budget,
Is that-
what line item does that come out of? Or is that just come
Yeah,
out
I
of?
guess that's a question.
It is a treasurer question, but my guess would be,
We
I
should-
don't know. I really don't know. if
We
it
should
falls
probably throw it under
the main budget
consult,
or
maybe.
if it's falling under a different portion of the budget. Because every meeting that is recorded gets a fee.
Yeah,
But I don't know
yeah.
that each board pays for that. It may come more out of like the general fund
I was
area.
thinking that might be more of a council.
Because it's more of a,
Should be a
transparency
general
and
fund.
procedural thing.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know.
So I'm not sure that each board pays for those.
If we need to, we can amend that, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
and we'll take this, council will end up getting this, and treasurer can adjust it, we can adjust any of these figures up or down if we need to, but
All right.
this is just basically the board's comment to the treasurer
Yeah,
to,
this isn't
just as a
locked
gut
in
feel.
until the
No, we're not
session
locked in any of these numbers.
Okay.
Just put it as a footnote that somebody's covering that for us.
I'll
Yep.
question it.
Yep, that makes sense. And then, so conference and dues, I suggested we just leave it at 1,000.
Yeah, makes sense.
And any training sessions that we would go to would come out of those funds too, so. So that's what I was suggesting.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good. So do we need a motion to recommend that to council?
No, I don't think so. I think we probably just, we could just take this back send it back to Mike Conduct.
Okay, doke. Okay, well, thank you, good job hashing that all out, Brian. That brings us to pending business. Site plan review change, we're not going to talk about item A tonight because it's not quite ready. So that would bring us to item B, the master plan update. We need to recommend the council adopt the master plan update dated for February 28th, 2022. Is there anybody that has any discussion or questions or comments, or is there anything, Sally, that you'd like to say?
Just that, I made the modifications that you had talked about last month in the draft that you have tonight. And this evening, if you're satisfied with that draft and you want to send it on to the village council, please look at the resolution that's in your packet and pass that resolution. And essentially, all it is really explaining that you have followed the correct procedure as outlined in the Planning Enabling Act to develop a master plan, and that you're recommending approval to the village council.
And I went through everything that, I mean, like I said, you made all the changes that we had in there, and everything looked fine to me. I don't think there was anything else that was inconsistent.
You
and
got
based
the picture
upon-
of the new launch there.
Yeah, based upon what, we didn't have any public comment tonight, and we circulated everything previously, and we incorporated whatever thoughts that we felt that we wanted to include from those comments, so.
Yep.
Okay, so we need a commissioner to offer, or the resolution to be offered by a commissioner and seconded by another commissioner. And whoever would like to do that, you just need a quick signature on this form.
So what do you need?
Actually, we don't need signatures.
Don't even need a
It's basically
signature. We just want a
motion to approve the resolution. to recommend
Oh, okay, that's
I'll
even, that's
move to
even
approve
easier.
the resolution for the master plan.
Okay.
Support.
Motion by Lindman, second by Snyder.
Yeah.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you.
Good
Yeah.
job, I think you got a good plan.
Yeah, thank you, nice work, Sally.
See how many people get following me over.
Okay, so that brings us to old table business, liaison to Parks and Rec. which I'm not sure if anybody would like to volunteer for that. If so, I believe we do need to hear a motion to take it off the table.
Oh, we've been stuck on it for a couple of months already, so.
Sounds like a volunteer.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll leave that table. That brings us to liaison.
Gee, Brandon's not here tonight.
Yeah.
Good thing I showed up.
Brings us to liaison reports. Item A, council.
Okay, well, as of last meeting, we were happy to award the 2021 Citizen of the Year to Ron Kruger.
Cool.
So Ron's done an awful lot of work on Veterans Memorial and did a lot of design work on it. And so we thought that would be prudent to do that, so we were able to do that. Police Department had a couple awards in recognition. First of all, they had a life-saving award for Officer Castillo, and that was from back in 21, back in February 21, I think it was. And with COVID and stuff, they wanted to do it in person, so we were able to award her with a life-saving award. She actually found a lady and her small child that were walking around at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like 10 degrees out.
Oh, my God.
They were searching for her. The husband reported her missing. And so they found her, and so it was a nice thing to be able to give her that life-saving award.
Yeah.
And also, we had community service recognition to Officer Grunwald for all the work that he's done for the food pantry and stuff with the police departments, you know, Kroger, food drive and everything that he's done, so. We recommended to hire Jim Fry, who's a current sheriff officer, as our auxiliary Marine Patrol officer. So he'll be filling in for when give Steve a little relief this summer. And we talked about, we were trying to get the Shankin Newport culvert cleaned this spring yet.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's gonna work out.
Get all the spiders out of the
They had a company set up and with the frost freeze, thaw and everything. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get them in quick enough to be able to, because the lake's starting to come up. They close the gates Tuesday, I guess. So we're hoping to get that done. We've been looking at trying to get it done for a while, and if it doesn't get done yet this spring, I don't know if it will or not, but we'll probably look at getting it done next fall. So it's that was in the police funds for the Easter Bunny lunch. We approved new in-car and body cams for the police department. So chief's finally going to get body cams, and that's coming out of the COVID money that we got from the feds.
Good idea.
And also a new police boat, we budgeted for that. So chief ordered that, and that'll probably be in, not this year, but it'll be in probably next fall for use next year, next spring, so.
What do they do with the old one?
I don't know, probably sell it. Probably up for sale. And then we also allowed some new computers for in-car computers and stuff for the police department. And so they were, probably 8-10 years old and out of realm, so that was going to be something needed anyways. And again, that came out of police budget, or the COVID money budget, so. So that was it for village council, I guess.
All right,
That's enough.
thank you. Great filling in there, Brian. Thank you very much. That brings us to ZBA. Kath is showing up just in the nick of time.
Right. I was out of the country last week, but I don't think they had one anyway. So.
Okay, thank you.
Short liaison report.
To water management, Mr. Schneider.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. The chief came to our meeting, which was great. He gave us kind of filled us in on the year's activities. The police ended up with 200 service calls on the lake and 123 record-setting citations. Hopefully, part of what we're trying to do that, I don't know if they're not here. I hope they're getting put up at some point. We got the new signs to alert people down at the launch. And in addition to that, the chief's suggestion, we're taking a look at it. Apparently, the DNR would be willing to hand out small maps of the lake And we could put certain pieces of information, I guess there was a trifold that used to go out before?
We actually had a little blue card that we actually had plastic laminated,
Yeah.
and it showed a map of the lake, and it had
Yeah.
the lake rules on the other
Had
side.
the lake rules, absolutely.
Oh.
So
I've
hopefully
got one
that'll
around too, yeah.
Yeah.
calm some folks down. There was a suggestion we should approach a bait shop, and if they get to put their address on it, maybe they'll pay for the thing, but
Yeah.
who knows? We'll give that a shot.
Why don't they do like a QR code also? Because that.
It's a great idea.
We're trying to develop a QR code that will show where all like the fishing spots are.
Well, that would even be good for, like on the sign down there.
Yeah.
You could put a QR code right on the dock.
Right on the
Well,
dock. Well, we were thinking about putting them at spots where people fish where they shouldn't, like on the bridge, on
Right.
Oak Island, stuff like that. You can't fish here, but hit this QR code, it'll show you where you can. So, that kind of a thing. But the new signs got picked up, I don't know when they're going up, they should be pretty soon. There's gonna be 3 boater safety classes, 2 in the summer, 1 in the fall.
Actually, a couple this spring, right?
Yeah, a couple coming right up. We did put an RFP out for the map, the interactive map, so we're really hoping that'll be a way to really stay on top of stuff with the lake.
That'll be on the website, right?
Yeah, it'll be on the website, everybody will be able to access it, you'll be able to see road end, you'll be able to key in for road ends and fishing sites and wells and everything. Yeah, the sluice gates were shut a couple days ago. We'd hoped, we were trying to shut them sooner so we could capture some of the snow and ice melt. We were the Water Quality Board was trying to make sure that we didn't have to pump, run the pumps as long as we did last year, which was really,
The weather was really down. I mean, we
Yeah.
had virtually no rain
Right,
last spring.
so we were gonna try and capture all the snow melt we could, and then if it rains, we just let out what we did, but it would avoid some of the cost of running the pumps, but, the culvert needs to get repaired, so, well, hopefully that'll happen.
Well, the gates are shut now, so we're
Yeah.
accumulating water.
Well, I've got a snorkel if anybody wants to, and a scraper. And probably the last thing is I've gotten in touch with Huron Valley Watershed Council. I've looked at what they do. They do a lot of neat stuff, and they're interested in any group that deals with their own lakes to either. I think it'd be a valuable relationship to figure out what they do that we could use.
We've actually, I get all their emails.
Yeah.
I mean, we had some people that were representatives
Okay.
on the water board with the Huron River Watershed Council.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. We're looking to
I think when I
reestablish
was on the
that.
water board back before 208, I was one of the representatives. Jim Donahue was, I know that.
Okay. Yeah. We're trying to revitalize that. So that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to any announcements? Okay, I would love to hear a motion for adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Nadrol, second by Lindman, all in favor?
Aye.
He needs to turn this.